Do you love drama as much as I do? Plot shifts and heart-pounding turns will keep you enthralled in the new book, Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Dana and Marshall are drawn to each other, but their flame has a tendency to burn and splinter all that once mattered, quite possibly even each other. Will they make it through the debris or become part of the ruins? Find out when you purchase your copy of Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash, now available via Amazon Books and all Kindle devices, and it's free with Kindle Unlimited.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Singing girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hello and welcome to Life as P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash. If this is your first time joining me, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so happy you gave me a try, whether you found me on a social media platform or someone recommended me. Thank you. If you are a repeat listener, love you. Thank you so much for coming back to join me. Hey, child, what's up? All right. So normally I talk about themes that have been happening in my conversations or things that I'm seeing repetitively over the past week, or even just something that's plaguing me, what's on my mind. First of all, you know, I got to get off my chest that Beyonce is my spirit animal. If y'all don't know, my boo, Homecoming, what? Listen, I know it may seem like I'm late, but I'm not late. It just means that I've watched it over and over again. Okay, let me move on because that's my boo. Anyhow, what I'd like to talk about is consistency. There is an overwhelming need to jump to the end of the line. When you decide to chase your passion and you decide to chase your dreams and go after your goals, it can be a little frustrating because you want to know, I've been doing the work, I've been doing everything that every webinar, article, suggestion online, every social media guru, whomever, you've been following every instruction that they've given you, everything that they've asked you to do, and you have not reached the end of the line. And you just like, what's happening? How come I'm not producing the way that I think I should be producing? And sometimes the answer is just time. You'd be surprised what a year of consistency can do for you. And I'm learning that through the year that I committed when I said I was going to take off from corporate. I'm going to pursue writing. I'm going to identify myself as an author. I'm going to accept this within myself. Stop considering myself as somebody who's trying to be, looking to be, working on being, and just call myself what I am, which is a writer and an author. And once I did that and I stayed committed to who I was and what I was doing, relationships opened up. Building blocks became apparent, and I was able to not only put in additional work for what it was that I wanted to do, but take on the hands that were extended to me as help to help lift me up and push me forward, as well as go back and do the same for those people. And I think that the consistency is what put that there. Sometimes we think that if we put out a piece of effort and we're like, okay, I committed to this. So where's it's like, you know, and I have to remind myself that when I'm exercising as well, because it's like, okay, well, I committed to do this and I did a day at the gym and I ran on a treadmill, but I don't see no, it's like, it's ridiculous. But I remind myself, you know, the year of consistency you had with writing, imagine if you had that with exercising. How would you feel differently? All that complaining about I'm tired all the time, or I don't have enough energy, or, you know, I'm not picking the right things to eat and so forth. Would that be different if I was committed for a year? And then what would that year of consistency do for me? And when I look back over my writing career and I look back to when I made the conscious decision to leave corporate America and to focus all my attention on writing and building my craft, I amazed myself. I published 5 books within 1 year. That feels so great to have that conversation when I talk to an agent or I talk to someone who's from a publishing company looking to see what I want to do. And they're like, oh, you did that all on your own. You're very focused. You're very productive. And for someone who never considered themselves, well, I'm still struggling with identifying myself as focused. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't feel focused. I feel all over the place. I feel like there are several strings tugging at me. I feel like I'm trying my best to give energy all over the place. I told y'all, I don't know what to do with no balance. I don't think I've ever experienced it, but I'm trying. And I've been trying consistently. And I think that's what people are seeing, what people are considering focus, is that I got my eye on the prize and I'm constantly contributing towards getting to that prize. It may take me 5 million steps. It may take me 1,000. It may take me 100. But either way, it's not over until I reach the goal. It's not over until I win. And I'm just like, if we all think about all of us who are chasing passion and chasing dreams, like before you run out of steam, just think about that year of consistency. And maybe you're on year 3. Maybe you're on year 4. But when you think about the time that you've given, think about when you were most consistent and what you were able to produce. And it's not necessarily you're able to produce the stuff in the moment of consistency, not necessarily in that moment. But the consistency can be planting the seed. It can be creating the fertile ground in which your blessing is going to grow into, or grow out of rather. And so think about that consistency. And if you can just run that race for a year, I've had a lot of conversations recently with publishing companies, with agents, and I am so proud of myself when I'm able to speak on what I've been able to do or what I've been able to accomplish over the year that I've given to the craft. And so now I'm like, I'm not going to stop. Granted, I had to take on some additional contract work. I had to do some work outside of my writing career in order to sustain my household and help pay the bills. But I couldn't drop the ball on writing because those accomplishments were not little. And those became my main goal. Those became the thing that pushes me to say, no, I'm a writer first. I'm an author first. All this other stuff is extra hustle, extra way of getting some finances to balance out the books of our home. But I'm a writer. I'm an author. I'm an editor. I am a story developer. I can help you. And it feels good to be able to talk to someone who's offering a publishing contract and be like, you know what? That's not necessarily for me. I don't have to be thirsty to chase some contract that doesn't make business sense for me just because I put in this little bit of effort and finally there's someone paying me attention. So let me jump on it. It's like dating. I don't need to, if I was single, I don't need to jump on the first person who looks my way or the first person who sends me attention because I'm confident in what I've been able to build and supply myself. So I can look for someone who's going to match my efforts, who's going to teach me, who's going to allow me to be me, understand all the different complexities that comes along, because my writing is not straightforward. I can write across several different genres, and I have plans for books across several different genres. So everything I write is not going to fit in the same wheelhouse. It's not going to sit with the same publishers or the same genre. It's not going to be in the same reading groups all the time. And I need someone who's just as okay with that as I am, who can strategize and figure out a way. And I have this talk with this woman and, oh my God, I love her. Okay, I love her. And I feel like over the past few years, I've just been falling in love with people that I'm meeting online or whatever. It's so crazy. So if you met your husband online, I no longer talk any mess about you because I believe. But I met this woman, and I'm going to tell you, at first, I was not going to query her. She's an agent. I was not going to query her. I didn't know how to pronounce her name. And what I thought was the pronunciation of her name made me question, I don't know about the professionalism. I don't know. And it could be the name she goes by. It could be the name that her mother gave her, but whatever. It made me question it. However, the person who said that this person was open to queries had gotten a deal through her and was very proud of that deal. And I said, there's somebody talking to this woman. There's somebody respecting her business acumen to give her client a try. So I went to her page. First of all, when I went to her Facebook page, I see her photo. I see the writers she's associated with. I see her pictures. And I'm like, this woman is professional. She's professional. She carries herself in a way. There's no way you're going to tell her that she's not professional. So you know what? Let me go query her. So I query her and she reaches out to me and we talk. And we have so much in common. But more so, her business knowledge was off the hook. Like, I was so blown away by our conversation. She just knew so much and it just rolled off her tongue. She was not impressed with her own knowledge because for her, this was common knowledge. This was just easy stuff. She wasn't sharing any secrets or anything. This is just, girl, you should already know this. And I was like, if this woman will have me, she's my person. And I'm still waiting to see if she gonna have me. But I was like, I judged her name before I judged her work. But when I go in, I see she's worked, she's consistent, and she's way over the 1 year of consistency. She's been putting in a lot of years. Okay. And she's built her business and she is absolutely the best person for me that I've seen thus far in terms of business acumen, in terms of standing by your clients, being proud of your clients, invested in your clients, having the same dreams, goals, and aspirations as your clients. So definitely going in the direction that I want to go in, definitely a team that I want to be a part of. And I was looking and she shared a little bit of her story and I'm just like, gosh, it's consistent. We talked about even down to the fact of our children and the struggles to have children. And I thought about the consistency that I had to put in there in order to have a successful pregnancy. And I just was like, yo, if I'm just consistent just a little while longer and not even a little while longer for the rest of my career, but if I just stay consistent and I stay the course, and sometimes I need these reminders and I'm thinking that maybe you may need them too. You're going to drop off every now and again, but you have to remind yourself to be consistent. You have to remind yourself, don't let that break go too far, too long, because you've done so much and you've gotten so far. And sometimes when we're in it, we don't know how far we've gotten. We can't see how much road is behind us. Take a look over your shoulder every once in a while and see how much road you put behind you. It can be daunting just looking at the straight road ahead and how it's so long and the goal is so far away and there's just so many pieces to add. I get intimidated all the time. I do. I follow people who I feel are good with marketing, have great marketing advice. But sometimes those people can say things that sound condescending and it sounds like, you telling me that I should know better for things that I'm doing or not doing. And sometimes it can be disrespectful. And sometimes I find that I have to unfollow some of those people because I'm sensitive and I'm getting hurt all up in the process. And yes, I want to follow your steps and tools and stuff like that, but I don't need to be beat up in the process. Okay. And I might come back and follow you again when I feel stronger. But in the meantime, I'm like, nah, don't beat me up. The rest of the world is beating me up. I need support, encouragement, upliftment. I need that. That's the kind of love that I need. So I love people like my girlfriend, Butterfly Brooks, who will reach out to me and send me a message and say, girl, you've been posting all these ads for your books, but you don't have no links. Where are your links? Every ad's supposed to have a link. I appreciate someone who's going to reach out and tell me that. Because she knows that I'm a novice. I'm not doing this for a very long time. I'm new to the ads. I don't have marketing experience. I have no idea where to start. So she gonna start me off and tell me, this is what you do. Follow these steps. And she does it in such a way that's so nurturing, so loving. So here, let me show you. Not trying to hoard any secrets or watch me fall below her, but reaching back and say, here, come stand next to me and let me show you what to do. I love that. My producer for this podcast is like that. You know, whenever she sees that I'm struggling with something, she'll talk to me and say, hey, well, what, have you tried this or try this app or whatever? I found a book cover designer thanks to her for sending me to Fiverr. Yes, I use Fiverr. I need Fiverr. Fiverr is in my budget. But if you're someone who does book designs and you do it on Fiverr budgets, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to give you a shot or to work with you to see what it is that we can do together, because I believe in investing in other people who are following their dreams, following their passions. Camille, you know, thank you for reaching out to me, for connecting to me, for adopting me. I love that. But this is all through consistency. This is all through constantly seeing my name in these same groups, constantly seeing my posts in these same groups, constantly seeing my interaction in these same groups. And when you're in the same group with these other people and you're seeing each other's names all the time, you start to kind of feel like you know each other and you start to care about each other and care about each other's progress. And it's part of finding your tribe. When people say, I don't know where to find my tribe, I don't know how to do that, you know, do a Google search, whatever it is you're looking for, whatever tribe, whatever thing you're writing, you're creating, you're stepping out on your own. You can probably do a search on Facebook and find a group that identifies with what it is you're doing and get active in those groups. Don't just lurk and sit around and watch everybody post. Be active, say hi, check in, like a post. By God, you know, people just be looking, don't like nothing. Like a post, interact, talk to somebody, you know, hey, I got a question. There are all kinds of stuff available. And by joining the group, sometimes that group isn't for you, but within the group, they've talked about something or recommended another page or said they found something somewhere, and maybe they'll direct you somewhere that works for you. I've found additional pages because of conversation. When I was interviewing publishers on my own for taking on my next piece of work, I only knew the questions to ask. Most of the questions I had were from conversations that happened in other groups where people shared their stories of being burned or even having successful stories, and taking that information and forming questions from them so that I could make an informed decision of whether this person makes business sense for me. And that's through consistency. That's constantly being there. That's constantly seeing what's going on and investing in my craft. So again, even I remind myself when I'm trying to figure out why my one day at the gym and 20 minutes on a treadmill has not shown any progress, that I need to be consistent, and I need to be consistent over a long period of time. And sometimes we run out of steam, but I'm here to remind you, get back up, get back into it. Be consistent. Do not drop the ball. If you truly want it, don't give it up. Don't leave it alone. Keep going. Let this be your year of consistency. And you don't have to wait till the new year. You don't have to make a resolution. You don't have to wait till your birthday. You don't have to wait for any of that. Just the same thing with vision boarding, which I have to tell you, a lot of what was on my board, I'm seeing coming to pass. But, you know, when you are starting anew and thinking afresh, you don't have to wait for anything. You don't have to wait for Sunday. You don't have to wait for Saturday. You don't have to wait till you're not working. You can be new within your spirit in the next 5 minutes. And you can write down some things that you would like to do at the end of the day or even the next day to start transitioning into that year of consistency. But get your year of consistency and then connect it to another year and then another year and then another year. But let's take it on year by year. Let's have the goal. I'm going to be consistent this year and I'm going to follow through. I'm going to show up. And every time I lose speed, I'm going to remind myself why I need to be consistent. And consistency is going to get me there. You can be as creative, as talented, as wonderful as you can be. But if you're not consistent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You need to be consistent. So that's my spiel for today, for this week's show. I hope it was something that can feed your spirit, as well as, you know, I'm going to reflect, because I think I might have said a thing or two that needs to revamp what I'm doing. So if you want to discuss anything, please get at me. I'm at P Writes on Instagram. I'm at P Writes on Twitter. I'm Phoenix Ash on Facebook. Please don't get in my DMs with your naked body. I don't want none of that. I got a crazy husband and I don't want them problems, and neither do you. Now, if you want to invest in any of my work, if you want to take a moment out and read something that I've written to see if I'm got any substance, please go on Amazon and pick up my books, In Her Makeup, as well as Soiled Sheets. They're both available on Amazon and Kindle. They're great reads, great travel reads, beach reads, whatever, great late night. You can't sleep at night, pick up a book, read In Her Makeup or Soiled Sheets. I would be most appreciative. If you love paperback, I have In Her Makeup, Soiled Sheets, Musings While Binging. I have Long Neck Bottles. I also have Avenue Song, which is a book of poetry. Have it all for you. And Long Neck Bottles is also available on Audible, by the way. I thank you so much for giving me your time, giving me your ear, and supporting my career. I hope I'm able to support yours. Until the next time when we can exchange power. Peace.